Welcome to partialarc.com. Don't do that.
I'm here to save the day. I'm here to save the day.
Soon I will be invincible. Because comics. Welcome to Because Comics. This is episode 76. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and I'm joined by my co-host, the blood-curdling Mike Christensen.
Look out! Doesn't my voice in your ears simply make your blood run cold?
Yeah, and make you shriek?
I do not drink wine.
What, do you have, like, beer or...
I'm not a big alcohol guy.
Oh, okay.
Hey, every episode we talk about the comic books that we are reading, and those include but are not limited to the comics we will talk about in this episode. Jay, you're first.
Great! Guys, a comic I'd like to recommend. It's called Mother Panic.
Blood curdling.
It is? No? Sort of. It's fun. It's from the DC line called Young Animal. This is a fairly new line, which I didn't know about until picking up this comic.
I also don't know what that is.
There we go. I will explain it to the listeners who might be like, what? Or huh? Let me tell you. DC Young Animal.
But no one who did any reaction other than those two.
Yeah. If you did any other reaction, this isn't for you. Please turn off the podcast. So DC Young Animal takes place, like books or series that take place in the DC universe, but for mature readers. Because look, as people who enjoy DC movies and DC comics, we right away were thinking to ourselves, God, you know, this content just isn't mature enough, and Young Animal is here to help you out. And this is a brand new series called Mother Panic. Mother Panic is supposedly the name of the superheroine or superhero of this story, even though she does not, so far in the series, call herself Mother Panic.
Okay.
But that's just what I'm assuming. Or maybe her mom is just very worried about her because she's superheroing. But essentially, this is a story. And by the way, this is written by Jody Houser and drawn by Tommy Lee Edwards. Now, Jody Houser, people kind of know because she's been writing a very successful comic called Faith, which is a very optimistic comic.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and it's great.
It's for Valiant Comics.
Yes, that's correct. But this is kind of like, I guess Jody was like, but I have all this anger, I need to get it out. And that's what Mother Panic is for. So basically, the lead character of Mother Panic, her name is Violet Page. And to best describe her, think of if Wednesday Addams discovered punk rock and then got famous for it. That's basically what this character is. So it's kind of like if Bruce Wayne was a young punk rock goddess and also hated life, but for very real reasons, which the story starts to explore in the first few issues. It kind of like piecemeals it out of like what happened in her childhood to send her down a very dark path. But essentially, she comes back to Gotham City. Yes, this takes place in the DC universe and in Gotham. So we don't really see Batman. We see like a glimpse of him, but the story does a very good job of being like, it's in Gotham, but like, don't worry about Batman and stuff. Like that might come by later, but focus on this character. And it's very interesting where obviously she's had a troubled past and she's on a mission. She's come back to Gotham to get revenge on a list, quote unquote, of people. And she does this by taking up a costume type persona that, again, doesn't have a name yet. Maybe it is Mother Panic, who knows? But it looks like a cross between Moon Knight and like a fox, basically, because she's all in all white and she has a cape and this awesome like fox, kind of like, I don't want to say Daft Punk, but like you know, cool mask. It has like electronic pieces to it. And she also has these awesome like spike fists. They look like if you took puffy boxing gloves and put spikes on them.
Sure.
And she rides around on like this crazy psychedelic like hovercraft. And again, everything all white. So very Moon Knight-ish. There's even like, there is a few glimpses of some Bat family in these series. And at one point, like Batwoman sees her flying by and like, who dresses in all white? And almost like in Gotham City, because it's just not a thing you do. And it is fun because this comic lives in the existing Gotham, but it definitely shows it in a different light. It definitely feels more Blade Runner-y. It has like very like bright neon-y feels to it, very psychedelic vibe to this comic. And guys, if you like action, if you like intrigue, if you want to kind of dive into a new kind of superhero character that's a little bit more gritty, a little bit more noirish in an existing universe like Gotham in DC, this is a really interesting comic, and I'm pretty excited actually to see where they kind of unfold the background of her character, because as these issues go on, they reveal more about her potential abilities and like what happened to her. It kind of flashes back and forth between her childhood explaining different points. So I'm really enjoying it. And if you guys want to check out this Young Animal series of DC, I mean, I think Mother Panic is a pretty good entry point. So Mike, That's my poll.
Also, I didn't realize Cave Carson has a cybernetic eye. Is also under that imprint.
Oh, really?
I just didn't do any sort of research
How
when I
dare
talked
you.
about that comic book.
That makes a lot more sense now, thinking about that poll. But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting series. I definitely want to check out, speaking of, if that's also part of it, I want to see what else they have under the umbrella. 'Cause it's very
The other
interesting.
ones are Doom Patrol and Shade the Changing Man. Well, no, sorry, the new version of Shade the Changing Man, Shade the Changing Girl.
Oh, very cool.
Those are the 4 it looks like right now.
Awesome. Well, I'll have to check those out.
My poll is very different. It is an all-ages comic. I believe it's all ages. It reads as all ages. From Boom Studios, Coady and the Creepies. Written by Liz Prince, art by Amanda Kirk.
It's a fun name.
It will be the, 3rd or 4th comic I've talked about on this show that's about a bunch of girls that are a rock band.
I think so.
I did Gem and the Holograms,
Mm-hmm.
Black Canary. Not quite. I mean, Lumberjanes was in that oeuvre. It has a lot of, by the way, this feels a lot like Lumberjanes.
Oh, really?
The art style.
Lumberjanes is great.
There's a supernatural element as well. The comic is about these 3 triplets who are a band, a rock band.
Hold on. 3 girls who are triplets or 3 groups of triplets?
I'm sorry, I should clarify. 3 girls who are triplets.
Gotcha.
And are in a rock band. They have alliterative names. They all start with C's. And they are out performing, and partway through the first issue, we find out that the character, the drummer, is a ghost.
Whoa, wait, really?
And has not told anyone.
What? Hold on a second. So all of them are sixth sensing the entire time?
No. She is hiding the fact that she is a ghost.
But that's what I mean. So everybody, even the audience, sees her and thinks that she is totally normal.
Yeah.
Okay, so ghosts in this universe just look like regular people.
Well, at least if they try real hard and focus on it the whole time,
They can be ghosts?
Yes.
Kind of like the best version of like Force ghosts, where they're like, we're blue and translucent,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
now we just look normal.
Yeah, just like looking like a normal person.
So, man, so dying in this world is not that bad, because like
Well-
you die, you can just like think really hard and you're fine.
Well, here's the thing: is there's actually a conversation she has in the second half of the comic. By the way, this comic I didn't mention came out today, the day we're recording this.
Oh,
so this is
wow.
a brand new series.
Holy crap.
But there's a conversation she has with another person who is no longer alive, and this person knows a lot more about what happens when you die, and in terms of where the spirit goes and what happens and what's supposed to happen and what should be happening and what apparently in some cases is not happening. And also, by the way, they're in like Santa Fe, and they're like, oh, and also there's this like river ghost who like drowned her kids, and let's explore that too. So
Let's
it's
go
like,
hang out with this awful person.
so it's like part of it is like supernatural, like the series where it's like, all right, we're gonna go around the country and find the weirdness.
Oh, so are they're like traveling across the US?
They're a touring group, or at least.
Oh, okay,
but,
okay.
But it's when we're picking up, they're towards the end of the tour that they're on, so we'll see where it goes. But like one of the other sisters has a paranormal activity, does not know her sister is dead. So
Wow.
so there's this weird element of like this person is finding out about ghosts, but not from the ones she knows.
That's such like a very fun concept. It's almost like where you're like working in an office and it's like, God, I just don't know that person's name. It's too late to ask. It's like kind of being like, God, I've been dead for like 6 weeks. It's gonna be really awkward to tell my sister that I'm actually a ghost.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been like 2 months or something like that.
Is it revealed how she
2 weeks
died?
to- Yeah, it opens with a car accident. It opens with
Oh,
the
okay.
aftermath, and it's like, these two are injured, this person died, this person's okay, seems totally fine.
Oh, so it's like,
And it's like,
oh,
and this other
interesting.
ghost comes through and is like, I heard about your story, and like, I know that you're, no, actually, it's been much longer than that. I think it's been like a year since that event.
Oh
So-
my God, she's been a ghost for a year?
Or 6 months. It's been a while.
You know, Sarah, I never see you eat breakfast or lunch or dinner. Hold on a second. Are you a ghost?
Well, reminder, her name is Coady.
Okay, true. Well, there's 3 of them. One of them could have been called Coady and not her.
That's true, but they are all, she is Coady, and they are the Creepies as a whole.
Oh, is that the name of their
The
band?
band is called the Creepies.
I didn't know if the Creepies were what they term a fun term for ghosts. I don't know.
I mean, it might be too. It might be too that also.
I saw some Creepies over there.
But no, it's more of a Josie and the Pussycats model. I talked about that comic too.
Yeah, you did.
This is my 4th.
Yeah, this is kind of your thing.
I,
You're the expert, really.
Apparently.
You're the industry expert, Mike Christensen, here to talk to you about girl bands.
okay. It's ironic because I don't know music at all.
But if they're in a comic, you're all over that.
it seems that way. Also, Scott Pilgrim's real good. Talking
It
about
is.
music
Oh,
comics.
So good.
So guys, check out Coady and the Creepies. It's a very fun series. I gave away a lot from the first issue, but I kind of had to because like it's kind of inherent to the premise.
And hey, if being a ghost after you die is a thing, this might be a good way to get some pointers. So, check it out.
Sure,
Just in case.
That's a strange tactic.
Sure, right?
I mean, it's a strange response unless you thought for some reason you were going to die today, which I don't think you do.
I'm lighting more candles right now. Well, guys, that was our terrifying, blood-curdling list of bulls, and that'll be taking us into our main segment. Mike, kick things off. Don't kill me.
Thor versus Mangog. This is a comic that takes place over issues 155 and 157 of Thor.
Ooh, classic Thor?
Written by Stan Lee.
Wow.
Art by Jack Kirby.
That is classic Thor.
That is straight up the Thoriest Thor.
Oh, yeah.
And what you need to know. Couple things from issue 154. Sif, Lady Sif, the Asgardian.
Let me help you out here, Mike. Previously on Thor.
Thank you. Sif, Lady Sif of Asgard, is on Earth in the hospital.
Oh, that's not great.
Recovering from some wounds. Thor is on Earth. Odin is in the Odin sleep. Loki is in Asgard. He came back and he's like, all right, I've got to find a way to get the throne from my father. While Thor's not looking, they're like, oh, Loki, you're here. Good. We're going to summon for you because like we need someone to help because like things are about to jump off and your father's in the Odin sleep. He's like, cool, I'll just go ahead and take this throne. And like, yeah, we're dealing with a crisis. Like Ragnarok's coming, Loki. Like I think this thing might happen and the world might end. He's like, yeah, cool. Thor's not here, right? Cool. We're good.
I'm king now for some reason. You all trust me.
And also, I know, it is baffling. They're just like, yeah, all right.
I guess what happens when you're an immortal, like, you just forget stuff really easily.
I guess.
'Cause you're like, look, none of us can die, so at some point we have to kind of forgive these terrible things, because, like, the cost of keeping you in jail that long is just insane.
Also, at a certain point on a long enough timeline, they've all done terrible things.
Yeah, all of them have done horrible things.
Baldur, Thor's best friend who hasn't been in any of the movies.
I was gonna say.
Is,
You all remember Baldur? Played by, what's a fun person who could have played Baldur?
I don't know enough about the character to guess it. So.
I was just trying to pick, I don't know, Edward James Olmos.
What?
I know.
Bizarre casting.
I was trying to think of the weirdest one
Like
I could think of.
1980, sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's trying to find some missing Asgardian warriors, and he's gone to the Norn Queen, who has them captured, and is using them to fight him.
Oh, that's not good. Like their mind trickeried?
Sort of mind trickered, yeah. That's a good way to say it. And also, a fellow who called himself King of the Trolls went and found this cave. He climbed out of this bottomless pit, and he was like, cool, this cave of Odin, the Odin cave. Because everything's just the
Everything's the
Odin thing.
Odin thing, man.
Odin sleep, Odin sword, Odin cave.
He put his name on literally everything.
The Odin power, Odin force, whatever they call it. And he found Mangog, a big monster man.
Oh, okay.
Looks kind of like a troll guy. Got a real big, scary face. Like, not MODOK level big, but, like, larger in proportion to the rest of his body.
Right, like, that wasn't,
than
like,
it should be.
Science is like, that's not possible.
Right, that's not cool. And he was imprisoned by Odin, like, way, way, way back in the day. And he's out, and he's pissed. And the guy who was King of the Trolls is like, hey, like, you help me, right? And he's like, yeah, or I just destroy literally everything is my plan.
Wait, no, new plan.
Yeah, more or less. Like, he was like, well, maybe I'll use you. Hold on, let me help climb you out of this ravine, and then we'll see where we go. This is the Mangog talking. Mangog's that monster.
Yeah.
And the Troll King was like, all right, cool. Now that I'm out of the ravine, you scare the hell out of me. Bye! And literally just ran away.
Just runs away.
Yep.
Cutting my losses.
And then the skies are darkening all over planet Earth, Midgard.
Oh, man.
So when we pick up in issue 155, the title of which is, by the way, Now Ends the Universe.
Oh, boy. Not dramatic in any way.
Clouds of deepest evil, which do chill my very soul, for they herald the coming of Ragnarok.
Now, hold on. Everyone imagine Mike saying that was the weather forecaster.
I wish I'd prefaced it a bit, but I also like that narrative. No, it's Thor. It's Thor's talking.
Damn.
You know, the mortals are like, oh man, there sure is dreary. And he's like, yeah, sure is the end times. As he's flying overhead, he's like, it's probably best that I don't tell them. But like, look, like the world's about to end. Of course,
they probably don't know what's going on. You just see like a giant snake slither out of the sky into another cloud.
But he's also like, hey, why hasn't Asgard summoned me? They're supposed to summon me when things get bad, and no one's called yet.
Damn it, is Dad taking a nap again? Gah.
Sif sits up in bed. He's like, what's going on? I don't know what's going on. And they're like, hold on, random weird lady in the hospital. Like, calm yourself. And then Thor just shows up in her hospital room. And he's like, I've come for thee. We gotta go. Like, we gotta go deal with Asgard stuff. Here.
Hold on, sir. She does not have health insurance, and someone needs to pay for this.
It's okay. He's also her doctor when he's Donald Blake.
Oh, right. There you go. That's how they get Asgardian coverage.
Yeah. Also, this is a thing, by the way. As he holds up his hammer, these rays radiate off of it into Sif's face, and he says, let the enchantment of my mallet speed the healing of my lady.
All right.
So apparently, and I don't think this has ever come up since,
No.
Thor's power has healing magic in it? I feel
it
like he
does.
usually does it for the other stuff.
Yeah. Now, Thor, I bequeath you this hammer of peace. It can heal the enemies, and oh god, oh no, what are you doing with
Well,
it?
when you have a hammer, every problem looks like a nail. You have magic that heals.
I guess
Use
not.
that for that.
Maybe it'll be in the third movie, Mike. Let's hold out for that
It
scene.
feels like there's going to be a lot in that movie already.
Yeah.
Feels like a late game addition to his power sets.
And also a scene where he heals somebody with his hammer.
Yeah, but just Lady Sif. Anyway, he teleports her up to the Rainbow Bridge, and they start walking their way to Asgard. And it's a long bridge, so it's going to be a minute.
I feel like he could have kept flying all the way there. He didn't have to stop at the bridge, but, you know.
Well, no, they spin their hammer, and they are teleported from the hospital room to the bridge.
Oh, okay.
At this point, they could fly, but they don't.
I mean, why waste a stroll? you
Sure.
know?
Cut back to the Norn Queen as Balder is fighting these soldiers that are kept imprisoned and ensorcelled by her, and he also got that offer, like, hey, stay with me, because she loves him.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
she
not
just wants to,
especially.
like, make it work.
Yeah,
you
and she
know?
says, there is still time, Asgardian. Just say the words, and Karnilla shall drive them back. Just pledge yourself to me. To the Norn Queen.
Karnilla, the name of, like, it's such, like, an evil name.
Well,
Mom, Dad, meet Karnilla.
is the Norn Queen especially better?
I mean, no, neither is good.
Right. Yeah, anyway. And then Baldur's all like, well, no, I mean, the Golden Realm doth call their sons, and Baldur shall give answer. We need to, I need these guys. Because, stuff's happening. Speaking of stuff happening, a robot named the Recorder is going to go figure out why the end times are coming.
The Recorder? Wait a second. Is this a Transformers crossover? Is this that Transformer that has the big tape deck in his chest?
No, it's not.
Damn.
He zoomed by Ego the Living Planet. He's like, oh, nope, it's not him.
Ego the Living Planet makes a cameo in this?
Yes, and in fact, there's a little asterisk that says, if you guessed that we tossed in this little sequence mainly to jog your memory about some of Thor's former fantastic foes, go to the head of the class. After all, we never know when our long-haired Lothario may be meeting them again. And now back to the business at hand.
Wow.
Amazing. The business at hand is a bar fight with the Warriors 3.
What?
Yeah, the Warriors 3
Are
in this
throwing
con.
down with people in a bar?
Yeah, they're in a bar in Asgard. And they're-
In Asgard.
Yeah, they're in
I
a
thought
bar
it was
fight.
like, cut to Michigan. And these guys are just getting into a big old scuffle.
I don't think that would change especially much.
True.
That would still be in character for them. But then Loki comes in. He's like, hey, your king demands you gotta cut that right out.
Whoa,
And-
Loki's whipping people into shape?
Yes.
Asgard is in just all kinds of bad shapes.
And he says to them, look, I have a battle for you if you want battle. Mangog is who you're going to go fight. You got to go fight that guy. Don't return until he's slain. Loki hath spoken. And they go fight Mangog.
Hold on, I was joking before. They are totally just okay with Loki as their king now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, essentially, yeah. He has an advisor specifically who, is totally fine with it. He's just like, I'm serving the king. And he keeps asking him, hey,
it's a living.
Essentially, the Warriors 3 go out there, and Volstag's like, well, hold on, I should go, I should go bid farewell to my wife. And they're like, yeah, that's the reason you started traveling with us, is so you wouldn't have to go do that. It's all right. I gotta go, give me just a second, guys. I just gotta gotta go call Thor. And they're like, yeah, Thor's not here. He's not that much more powerful than Mangog anyway. He's not, we might as well go, unless you're afraid. He's like, wow, I'm afraid. What? Let's all go now. Because the Warriors 3 are just the best.
Yeah.
They're just awesome. And Loki's like, haha, I've sent them to their doom. And his advisor's like, great, but Mangog is still coming. We actually do need to deal with the Mangog problem. Just throwing your enemies at the problem doesn't solve our problems.
Also, are they
It solves
still his
your
enemies? If they're
problems.
like, yeah, we'll worship you as our king, I guess, or listen to you.
I mean, they're annoyed by him, but
But they're still compliant.
Sure. Does Loki not strike you as someone who holds grudges? Because he strikes me as someone who holds grudges.
Yeah, I believe he does.
I mean,
Pretty bitter dude.
yeah. Anyway, and even the advisor says, in thine unyielding hatred of all who art allied with Thor, thou must not forget the danger which doth confront us all. And Loki's response to that is, silent, thou art addressing the rightful king. And someone else, a certain blonde-haired buddy, comes in and says, you know what? Why are you on the throne of Odin? Like,
It's a very good question.
what's going on here? And Loki's like, too late, buddy. I'm in charge. And Thor's like, that's not an answer. What are you talking about?
So is that how our politics work? God, this system is flawed.
The system is flawed.
Wah, wah.
Asgardian jokes. And he says,
Oh, boy.
yeah. And Loki says, Loki commands, stand back. The throne is mine. The scepter is mine. Death to him who opposes me. And Thor basically says, evil one, what profiteth a man to keep his throne if he shall lose a universe? Because this dude's gonna cause Ragnarok. Like, it's going to happen. We all know it. We have to join forces and stop him. And Loki's like, well, then, I was born to rule. You were born to fight. Go fight and slay Mangog. Slay him or die. And Thor's like, I mean, yeah, I guess. Here's what he says. He says, with each passing minute, the monstrous Mangog draws ever closer. And when tolls the bell to proclaim the fall of Thor, do not rejoice, for it shall toll for thee as well.
Pretty serious.
Mangog runs into some frost giants and just spanks them and moves on.
Just Riggedy Rex?
Yeah,
Wow.
and he is much smaller than them.
Oh.
He is like waist high to these frost giants.
And they're just like, puny... oh, God.
He-
He's just smacking
He
them around.
wrecks them, and he walks to this Asgardian outpost, this Asgardian fortress, and just rips the front of it off.
Whoa.
And I don't mean it's like a little... It's like a Helm's Deep thing. And he rips the front of it off.
That's pretty strong.
And then he just starts throwing Asgardian soldiers around and howling for vengeance because his entire race was eternally destroyed by Odin.
I mean, I can see why he might have a grudge about that.
But all their power has been given to him.
Oh, boy.
So that's a thing.
Didn't work out too well for Odin.
They employ the Odinian force arrow to fight him, and they just...
Man, on everything.
And they just chuck a missile at him. Like, it is... And I'll show this to you. Top left.
Oh, my God, that is a missile.
They just throw a rocket at him.
The Odinian force... It's a missile. It's a missile, guys. Why are we calling it an arrow?
Force arrow. And they hurl it at him, and they knock down the mountain on top of him. They're like, all right, cool. All right, Ragnarok shall not come this night, and will be etched in the pillars of eternity. Hooray! Oh, the mountain's rumbling. What's going on? What could it be? And one guy's like, guys, it's not the mountain just moving. We didn't kill Mangog.
Yeah, obviously.
And Mangog crawls out and shouts that he will destroy them all, and says, when Odin vanquished those who spawned me, he sealed the fate of a universe as well. For Mangog shall reach the palace imperial, and there will I unsheath the Odin sword itself.
Goodness.
And then he just picks up a big chunk of mountain, and it's very clear what's going to be at the bottom of that rock in just a minute.
Sorry, Asgardians.
And the Asgardians are watching from the palace. Thor and Loki are watching, and they're like, all right, cool. We got to figure out what to do because he can't draw the Odin sword. And Loki's like, Mangog's too powerful. There's nothing that can stop him because he's not really mentally equipped for what's happening.
Yeah, probably not.
And Thor's like, all right, I got to go.
Well, here, quick. We'll get the Warriors 3. Hopefully you didn't send them off on some dumb mission. Crap.
Awkward. And he says goodbye to his father while he sleeps. And he says goodbye to Sif and says, please...
Run for your life and get everybody, all the women and children and families out of here. And I just hope that you don't have to die. Bye.
No matter where the battle take me, the heart of Thor is ever here with beauteous Sif. And he rides off to go find Mangog, and he just starts passing these ruined, wrecked warriors who are just lying on the ground. And like one guy, he like picks up, he's like, what happened?
I'm still alive. Oh, no, okay.
That's exactly what happens.
Oh, really?
The soldier's like, all the power of a billion warriors are possessed by Mangog. He has sworn to herald Ragnarok. He cannot be defeated, and then he dies. It's like, all right, that was brutal. And he goes and he finds there's a bunch more soldiers, and they're like, one blow, and he knocked out our whole ranks. Like,
so good luck. I'm dying now.
Have fun. Goodbye. And we see the ruins of this Asgardian strike force that's just in flames in the mountain. Who can forestall Ragnarok? And he passes this cluster of rocks, and he hears the Warriors 3 from inside. They're like, we're here, we're fine. Because he just put some rocks around them like a cage.
That's
which
hilarious.
Seems somewhat out of character considering his his evidence so far.
Like, he's just been smashing stuff, but for them, he's like, I'm just going to put you in this little box.
You're recurring characters.
You cannot die just yet.
But
it's also very demeaning of the Warriors 3, because it wasn't even worthy of him to, like, go full bore and, like, crush them. He was like, oh, you're just... No, like, I'm just going to put you in this little box. Like, no way, don't.
Hogan says he has trapped us like beasts. And then Mangog shows up, and he grabs Thor, and it is jumping off time. The next issue, 156, is called The Hammer and the Holocaust, and I feel like they used that title last time.
Yeah, right?
Like, I think that was the title of one of the issues last time.
Do you think Stanley was like, did I use that yet?
This is the same
Probably
guy who
not.
sometimes was like, and the Hulk, alias Bob Banner. And later someone had to be like, I guess his first name's legally Robert? Like,
And he goes by Bruce sometimes?
Yeah, his middle name's Bruce, his first name's Robert, he sometimes is Bob. And Cyclops, a.k.a. Slim Summers. Stan, like, you made it alliterative for a reason. Like, just write it down.
Slim Summers.
That happened a lot.
What?
And now it works because Logan calls him Slim all the time.
That's amazing. He's just like, should I double check? Nah, you know what? I'm pretty sure it's Slim.
I gotta finish 5 comics today.
Yeah, oh my God.
That's the problem when you write everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
Thor, hits Mangog with his hammer.
Patrick Parker swings into the Daily Planet.
Peter somehow made it out okay. Not a lot of continuity gaps with Peter, fortunately. And I don't think J. Jonah Jameson was ever in question.
True.
Anyway, the hammer is not working super well against Mangog. And neither is the rest of Thor's power. But, the Warriors 3 start
Did he try healing him with it?
No, that's not a thing his hammer
Let
can
me
do.
heal your
What are you
emotional
talking about?
torment. Oh, I feel better about things now.
The Warriors 3 sort of tease him out from like, hey, no, you got, don't mess with us. Don't mess with the bull. You mess with the horns. You mess with one of us. You mess with all of us. New York.
Wow, it's where they said all those things. But I guess it's in a Stan Lee comic.
Yeah,
so
there you go.
It's canon.
So Mangog breaks them out to fight them. And you'd think like, he fell for it.
But they're like, oh no.
Like, he is entirely unthreatened by them. I mean, like, he picks Fandral up by his sword and just sort of like holds him in the air.
He's like, wow, I can't do anything, basically.
Yeah, it's kind of bad. And Loki gets a briefing on like, this is all going super bad. And he's like, yeah, but,
Hey, sir, how's your plan for entire universe domination going? Not well?
He's like,
All right.
we're going to wait and see what happens. Once my brother is dead, then we'll act.
Then the plan will go off, guys.
Yeah.
Guys?
Yeah. My lord, methinks thou art more concerned with thy brother's certain death than with the fate of the realm eternal. Even if 'twere so, 'tis no affair of mine.
We've also completely forgotten your entire history.
Once Thor has fallen, we shall ensure that Odin doth not awaken. Then will the crown be mine for e'er. At that moment I shall summon Karnilla, queen of the Norns, to combine her magic with mine, and then shall fall Mangog. But sire, what if thy magic too shall fail? Is not now the time to act?
Also, I like that was the only thing he took like umbrage with in that entire statement. It wasn't like, sir, did you just declare that you were going to murder our god king Odin?
This
in
guy
his
is
sleep?
he's a company man.
Yeah, he says it's a living. You know what? This guy's my boss, and if that's what he wants to do, that's what he wants to do.
And he's like, look, it's fine. My elite guard shall protect us. And he goes out into the next room, and the elite guard is there, like, in arms and slings, and they're all tattered up. And they're like, we were hiding. Mangog found us. Mangog wrecked us. Bunch of us dead.
It's not good. I can't speak in full sentence.
Hide us, sire. Grant us shelter.
Loki's like, man.
And the advisor says, thou should have aided the Thunder God while there was time. Now there is no place left to flee. If Mangog draws the Odin sword, all the universe shall crumble as Ragnarok falls among us. And Loki's like, let me think. I don't think about this. Thor summons a storm, because that's a thing he can do.
Yeah.
That we did know.
Of course.
That's not a random power
that makes
out of
sense.
nowhere.
He is the god of thunder.
Yep.
So that one translates pretty easily.
Yep. And he summons this tornado, and, Mangog stands his ground against the tornado.
You're telling me a tornado wasn't going to bring him down? What about that mountain they dropped on him and a missile?
Look, it's worth a shot.
I guess so. No, my one weakness, fast wind.
Look,
no.
maybe something can't knock him down, but maybe something can pick him up.
Yeah, there you go.
It's worth a shot. Didn't work. Didn't go well. Thor looks bad. Thor does not look like things are going well.
Guys, that was it's the last trick I had in my sleeve.
But you know what doesn't look bad? Everything in this comic, because this comic's really well drawn.
Oh yeah, well,
And-
Jack Kirby. There you go.
Jack Kirby. I don't know if I want to give away the game here. Jack Kirby's real good at comics.
Yeah. Spoilers.
Thor just starts blasting lightning out of his hammer, and Mangog just continues to advance.
I mean, at that point, you gotta just go for broke, right? What can I do really well with this thing? Lightning.
But the plan works.
Whoa!
He manages to trigger a volcano beneath Mangog's feet. He manages to destabilize the earth enough that the ground erupts like a living volcano and traps Mangog in a lethal pyre.
Oh.
And then Thor just starts running. He's like, all right, let's just see where this goes. Come on, the Warriors 3. And he starts flying, and all the Warriors 3 just hold onto him in a chain, dragging him by holding onto his legs.
Let's get out of here immediately.
They're like, we gotta move. The recorder, that robot, shows up on the Bifrost. Not a transformer. I mean, maybe a transformer, but not that I can tell. And Heimdall's like, who are you? And he's like, I'm the recorder. And they're like, oh yeah, Thor met you. Like, he really likes you. Like, you guys are bros. He's
you
like,
guys are cool.
Yes, it's cool. I am here to observe and record. And they're like, all right, cool.
Are you friends with the Watcher? No, we parted ways. We were once friends,
It
but now
was awkward.
he watches and I record.
It was a social network style thing. It was real bad. And so
if you had been the recorder, you would have been the recorder.
That's really good.
Thank you.
Heimdall flags down a horseman. You know, one of those guys who just sort of runs up and down the Bifrost. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
And takes like, hey, take the recorder to
Pretty cushy job.
take the recorder to the palace. Cut back to those guys watching the Inferno where Mangog was, and Mangog just grabs a molten mass of white hot lava and hucks it at them.
Wow. So they gave him ammunition. He's like, I know. You know what, Mangog? Let's give him some credit here. The guy can really make lemonade out of lemons.
Yeah, it's true. But Thor says nay. Well,
Sure.
Says, comrades, take heart.
I say nay to flying lava.
Thor says the nay. Are we not warriors born? Are we not Asgardians all? Are we not akin to gods? This is when people were like, oh, crap. Like, sure is going to be Ragnarok soon. And so he brings down this heavy rain and, like, washes Mangog as far away as he can. And, it gives him a minute.
Sure.
You know how it goes.
I mean, the natural enemy of lava is rain, which I feel like was partly a good thing to use against Mangog. So who knows, right?
Cut back to Balder, still fighting those guys, still saying no, I don't love you, or I'm not gonna betray my people or whatever for you, or I don't know. It's sort of not super relevant to what we're talking about.
It's just a second date, Balder. Relax.
Yeah, it didn't seem like that though.
Yeah, probably not.
The recorder shows up. He's like, hey, what's going on? Hey, I sure am here. He doesn't really do anything in this comic, but he's around.
Well, he's there to record.
Yep. Sif stands by the sword, the Odin sword, to make sure. Like, look, let the Mangog come. If you reach this spot, it means Thor has perished, so I shall welcome certain death, rather than live without my lord. And recorder says, observation. A hush falls over the embattled realm. The moment of destiny is almost upon us.
Oh, boy.
Recorder's cool. And the Warriors 3 and Thor witness Mangog emerging from the surf of this Thor-formed river. And we go to issue number 157, the last one we'll be talking about today.
The last Thor comic ever.
The last Thor comic ever. Titled, Behind Him, Ragnarok.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, they're certainly promising a good deal of destruction and devastation from this fellow. Once again, Thor and Mangog fight, and it does not work for Thor. Really at all. You know how he does that thing where he throws his hammer and usually people get knocked down? The hammer just kind of goes flying away.
Wait. Does the hammer, hit him and he knocks it away? Or the hammer goes, no, I'm not going to do this, and
No,
he flies itself
he
away?
hits it, but he does... Oh, and by the way, I believe on every other page, roughly, he identifies himself as having the power of a billion people.
Wow. A billion.
Yes. And that is
That's a lot.
almost unfailingly the term that he uses. A billion deaths, a billion beings. It is
That's a lot.
It is fairly recurring. Cut back to Balder, and he says, if you profess to love me, mystic maiden, why seekest thou my death? The love of Karnilla is a selfish love, brave Balder. If thou wilt not be mine, then none shall have thee. But take heart, time still remains for thee to be spared. Never, Balder shall not live while Asgard dies. Though thou art wondrous fair, my queen, 'tis the beauty of evil that wouldst have me desert my liege. And she says, all right, well, you gotta die. And all the Asgardians are like, no, we're on board. We all rolled a successful saving throw simultaneously.
We all pass our wisdom saving throw.
Hooray. And they all stand together and they will all fight for Asgard. And she's like, all right, well, bye. And she just teleports them all
All right,
away.
fine. I'll just, I don't know, bye.
In all of the world, in all of time, there is but one whom I have loved. But so pure is he of heart, so noble of spirit, that all my Norn enchantment could not win him. Go then, warrior bold. This is to the aftermath, to the smoke.
Right.
Fight with thy hosts for Asgard. The Norn queen has freed thee. Carnella still stands alone. And they just show up in the foyer or whatever in the courtyard of Asgardian Palace.
Yeah.
And it's like 6 guys with Balder, and he's like, all right, guys, we're back. And they're like,
Don't worry, the 6 of us are here.
And they're like, Mangog's like here, like the realm eternal is doomed. And he says, not while an Asgardian lives. Take arms, one and all. We fight till we fall.
And the soldier's like, wait, what? No. Oh, I thought we were just coming back. Damn it.
No, Jay, I will remind you they are Vikings.
Ah, right.
Or the Vikings that were so
Armed
Viking,
with missiles.
They inspired the Vikings, essentially.
Right, true. The Vikings who inspired Vikings.
Yes, basically. Mangog makes his way towards Asgard, and he shatters the mountain beneath his feet and just starts burrowing through it.
Whoa.
To avoid the armies,
Makes sense.
And
Because they've been such a detriment to him so
he's
far.
specifically just avoiding the defenses above.
Makes sense. I mean, make it a little bit easier where you can.
Yeah, exactly. And like Thor and the Warriors 3 like hear him burrowing underneath. He's like, all right, I gotta fly, and I gotta fly solo, guys, because I don't want you guys slowing me down. I gotta move fast. And
Fair
so
enough.
he flies off to Asgard. Mangog pops up out of the ground in the middle of the city, in the middle of the inner walls of the inner city, and picks up like one of these big like totem pole style things that's like pouring oil and fire, and just starts hucking it around. Everything is almost immediately in ruins and on fire.
Wow.
He's like standing on towers and shouting about, since Ragnarok shall be thy fate, I give thee a foretaste of what is yet to come. With mine own limbs, mine own matchless strength, now I do to Asgard what the Odin sword shall do to all the universe. And they are all freaking out and like, the end hath come, now falls the realm, Ragnarok is upon us. And then we see Balder and way more than 6 guys riding out on horseback through the streets of Asgard, charging for the realm eternal, for Asgard! Full armor, riding horses. It's great. This comic's dope.
Pretty rad.
This comic's really rad. Mangog just immediately, like, just breaks their lines.
Oh, man.
It's a knockdown, drag-out fight. Thor flies in. He lands on Mangog's back, like, just, like, grabs him by the back like a piggyback ride. It doesn't go especially well because he gets judo thrown down and stomped on, and Balder's like, we can't let Thor die, we can't let that happen. And so someone else jumps on his back and starts pounding on Mangog's head.
This worked before almost.
Giving Balder enough of a chance to pull Thor away to safety.
Right.
And he's like, you gotta get to the Odin sword, like, really now.
Yeah, wait, couldn't somebody else just pick up the Odin sword?
No, if anyone other than Odin draws it, Ragnarok starts.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, I think I skipped that, but yeah.
I didn't know that. That's why, like, when Lady Sif was standing near it,
I mean,
and
it is
everybody was
also-
talking about it, I was like, well, shouldn't someone else grab it?
It is also 12 feet long.
Ah, okay.
It is intense. It is like a semi-truck.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And only Odin can ever draw it from its sheath, or Ragnarok.
Or Ragnarok goes down.
Yeah, it's super bad. They start firing just artillery. Here's a picture of an artillery gun that they have.
Odin! Okay, guys, it's a cannon. It's a big freaking cannon.
Yeah, it literally just looks like a World War II, like, but Jack Kirby style.
I mean, that's almost like Apocalypse level
well, it's the
weaponry. I mean,
same
it's the
designer,
same
yeah.
artist, yeah.
Of course, he doth not waver when he gets hit by the mightiest weapon in Asgardian's arsenal, other than the Odin sword that no one else can pick up except for the sleeping guy. And obviously, more than Asgard is at stake as Thor rushes back and goes to the palace, and Loki's like freaking out, and he's like, the Mangog is getting closer, and like, failure's not an option. Even though worlds may die, the Prince of Evil shall ever survive. And he starts running through the halls. And he says, wake, I'll wake Odin. The Allfather will save us. And they're like, you can't wake up Odin. That's the premise of the Odin sleep. He can wake himself up. No one else can disturb him. We cannot wake up Odin. Like, that's not a thing we know how to do.
Right.
If we did,
Heavy sleeper.
would have done it yesterday.
Yeah. Don't you think that was plan A?
And Loki just sort of runs, and the advisor is like, thou art sovereign now. What of the hapless subjects? What care have I for them? Loki alone must live. And he just runs into Thor. He's like, well, you take flight like a jackal born. And he's like, brother, stand aside. And it's like, fine, run. Like, where are you going where you think you won't be destroyed when the universe is destroyed?
Yeah.
So, bye.
Going to Cabo.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that'll be safe. It's fine.
Oh, Cabo, yes. The most protected of all the realms.
And Thor and Sif and the Recorder stand side by side by the sword. Observation. My sensory registers inform me that Mangog has penetrated the castle defenses. Then the moment is upon us. 'Tis here we fight. 'Tis here we stand. And if destiny doth so decree, 'tis here we perish all. The very walls begin to crumble. Art thou frightened, most fair Sif? Will I stand with thee, my lord? Nay, whate'er befalls, my heart is calm, and ever thine.
For a moment there, I thought that was the conversation between Lady Sif and the recorder.
No.
I was like, whoa, twist.
And then Mangog breaks through the wall like the Kool-Aid man, and he's like, there it is, the Odin Sword!
Oh, yeah!
But imagine that a little bit more old time. The Odin Sword, I see it at last. And they fight, and of course, they're not winning because they can't. And he grabs the hilt and just starts drawing it forth, and lightning starts crackling, and Ragnarok is starting, and the winds are picking up everywhere. Already, the cosmic shockwaves start to form. That's the recorder, not
Right.
Thor or someone.
That's interesting to have him around, and if he's speaking out loud, it's almost
He
like
is.
having narration over your own life.
He is narrating as this is happening.
Little did Thor know that he would die in 2 minutes. Wait, what did you just say?
And now begins the ultimate end. Already the cosmic shockwaves start to form, but Thor has not yet yielded. Though all seems lost, he battles on. He shouts defiance to death itself. No, he does not battle in vain. Behind the agony there is method. Behind the pain, a plan. Maybe don't tell Mangog what you're talking about.
Yeah.
He calls upon his
Hey,
own
man, keep it to yourself.
calls upon his own powers of the storm, powers which gather in mounting fury. His purpose now is clear. Only the omnipotent power of Odin, merged with that of the Thunder God, may yet halt Ragnarok. And only a storm such as this, which Thor has created, can cause the Lord of Asgard to safely awaken from the fateful Odin sleep.
And Thor's like, great idea. Thanks, recorder.
And then we hear, Recorder, thou speakest true, and Odin stands in the winds of Ragnarok. Now from his sleep has the All-Father woke. That's not the recorder, that's Odin talking about himself.
Fair enough.
Now here stands Odin, power scepter in hand. Mangog, I bid thee halt. And he fires a beam and casts Hold Person on Mangog.
Nice.
I guess Hold Monster.
Now let's get technical here, Mike.
Now hear you've listened to Friday Night Quest, you know that's what I do. Now hear the words of Odin. Ages ago, in my wisdom supreme, I didst put thy entire race beneath an Odin spell. We didn't really talk about this, but Odin destroyed the entire race of Mangog.
And he's calling this an Odin... I put them beneath an Odin spell?
So here's what happened. They were invading Asgard, and Odin destroyed them, but they put all their power into Mangog. He imprisoned Mangog. Here's what he says. I did put the entire race beneath an Odin spell, and now by decree imperial I break thy spell. And Mangog starts to lose power and starts to fade away, and Odin says, Mangog, thou wert never strong. 'Twas an illusion. 'Twas all an imagery. Thou wert but a living prison in which thy race was jailed. But now I end the sentence. As Mangog fades away, his race shall live again. Mangog fades away, and Odin, who by the way is like wearing like a winter coat. I don't know. Well, I guess it was just super hailing in his office.
Who turned on the air conditioning? The thermostat is out of control. So says the All-Father.
He turns to his son and says, Feel no remorse, my son. Thy victory is thine. 'Twas not a foe thou battled, but Odin's spell in living form, and thou faced it like a god.
Hey, Dad, before you go to sleep, are there any other horrible fucking curses out there?
But
that
now, behold, the ending comes in view, and we see this planet being repopulated as this like sea of people reappears on it. A race entire hath done its penance, and so a billion beings. There it is again. And
Wow.
I cut out all the others.
That's the longest time out ever.
Shall live again to dwell in peace fore'er. Such is Odin's judgment. Such is Odin's will. Thus by all let it be known, I have spoken! Because he's Odin, that's how he talks.
I love that he like also added in there like, and they'll live in peace, right?
That's exactly what he's doing.
Like the race of people are like, yeah, well.
He's like, you learned your lesson, right? No more invading Asgard.
do you want me to trap all your souls in another person's body?
Then Ragnarok shall not fall this day. The sword is sheathed, the danger is gone, and the realm endures. So be it. And Odin slams the sword back into its sheath. And Thor picks up Lady Sif, and she's okay. She, limps to her feet. And Balder crawls out of the rubble. He's like, yeah, it's all good. We still stand, we all triumphant. So shall we ever, with faith, our bulwark true, as Thor adds. And all the Asgardians, except for Loki, because he buggered off,
Right.
stand together, and it says, and so it ends. And so the fruit of Asgard, the brave, the strong, the valiant, pay homage once again to him whose they all serve, whose name they honor, whose glory they share. All hail to lordly Odin and the realm eternal.
Pretty rad.
Pretty rad comic.
Yeah.
Guys, I don't want to give away the game, but Jack Kirby and Stan Lee are good at stuff they do.
Indeed, especially Thor stuff.
Especially, man.
That is very fun. And it's a very visual comic. The art is really...
It's a visual feast.
Yeah,
it's
amazing.
That whole sequence when Thor's
pulling out
bringing
the
down
sword and like the lightning and stuff.
Yeah, and when Thor's bringing down the weather, this is a really cool effect that Jack Kirby does a lot in his comics when there's like driving wind, where he does these like hash marks to represent the shape of the person.
Nice.
And it works every time. And I was like analyzing the panel today, and I was like, how is this... He's so good at like the negative space and like he's so
Yeah.
Jack
I know Kirby.
I know he co-created Captain America. Like, it's not like I'm telling anyone anything new that he's good at comics.
Who's Jack Kirby? If you've listened to this many episodes of this show, you should know by now who Jack Kirby is. But man, pretty awesome comic.
There's a reason they called him the King.
Oh yes, guys, that was our main segment about pretty rad Thor story, and that'll take us to our game. Would you rather? All right, this is our game, Would You Rather. This is played like regular Would You Rather, except we inject comics into it. For this episode...
That was the sound of a needle.
That was terrifying?
Blood curdling.
There you go, brought it back. So guys, our Would You Rather is, would you rather, in the Marvel Universe, work at the Daily Bugle or Nelson and Murdock? Now, if anyone doesn't know, the Daily Bugle is where Peter Parker will work under J. Jonah Jameson to take pictures, and it's a newspaper. And Nelson and Murdock is the law firm of Nelson and Murdock, Daredevil and Foggy Nelson. So, Mike, which place have you had to work?
Daily Bugle.
Now, why the Daily Bugle?
Look, realistically...
You're changing lives in your law work at Nelson and Murdock.
You're changing lives in the news, too. I mean,
True.
Probably not a bunch, but some.
Your pictures of Spider-Man might make it into the newspaper.
He's got a guy for that.
That's true. One specific guy, I can't think of his name right now.
Eddie
Is
Brock.
it Paul?
Paul
Parker.
Paul Palmer. Oh, you know what? I think was he ever Peter Palmer? I think he may have been.
Oh boy.
Once. Anyway, look, realistically, there is a chance a supervillain will attack both.
Of course.
I mean, I'm sorry. There is a inevitability.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's not a chance. It is going to happen.
It will happen.
It's part of their yearly fire drills.
Yeah, sure. But in the meantime, when you're not being attacked by supervillains, the Daily Bugle can pay you.
True. I mean,
don't get me wrong. J. Jonah Jameson's cheap, but
cheap.
He has money coming in. He has the ability to pay you.
Nelson and Murdock not making that kind of green?
Not really, because there have only been 2 Daredevil adaptations, and in both of them, there is a plot point that they get paid in food sometimes.
Well, people eat food, Mike. So, if you don't get your paycheck that week, you might get some pie.
Granted. Now, to be fair, both jobs require investigation.
True.
You will, I assume I'm taking the Karen Page role or let's say the Betty Brant role, essentially, or similar, the Ned Leeds or whatever. But you're working for each in an advisory or investigatory capacity.
True.
You will have to go find things out. You'll find things out. Oh my God, this guy's a goblin or whatever, or a Stilt-Man, or a Kingpin.
Oh, a Stilt-Man.
Or a Stilt-Man, or a Punisher, or a Punisher's enemy, and you'll find yourself in danger. That is also very likely. But if you work at the Daily Bugle, you're less likely to be dating Daredevil, because if you date Daredevil, you die.
That's true. But
you might get better, but you do die.
But at the Daily Bugle, you might end up becoming friends with Peter Parker, which means you might also definitely die or become his arch nemesis.
That's more likely. Then arch nemesis is more likely.
You'll be like, oh my God, why am I now wearing goblin makeup? Oh, damn it, I befriended Peter Parker.
Because Ned Leeds was framed for being the Hobgoblin, I believe. Mm-hmm. Deep cut. Frederick Foswell, I believe, was a reporter who was the big man, who was a criminal in issue 10 of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
This is deep cut.
The way back.
J. Jonah Jameson's son became a werewolf.
Uh-huh.
But then he was a superhero werewolf and hung out with She-Hulk a lot.
Pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Pretty neat.
But even just going by the Spectacular Spider-Man TV show, which was fantastic, The spectacular is both an adjective that describes the show and part of the title. In that series, you had the Rhino attack. You had J. Jonah Jameson get super freaked out when his son's rocket maybe didn't land.
Didn't also like the Scorpion attack at some point?
Scorpion didn't make it into that show, but he does. Yes,
right. That's
Scorpion,
a classic rivalry between J. Jonah Jameson and the Scorpion.
And also, like, you got to deal with that whole thing where your boss hates Spider-Man.
Yeah,
because your boss hates Spider-Man.
See, that's kind of the thing. So, like, there's either two ways you can look at it. Either you agree with J. Jonah Jameson and you hate Spider-Man just for whatever reason. Is it because he dangles cars above the streets of citizens?
Look, if you've listened to our show for a long time, there are good reasons to dislike Spider-Man.
But also,
now, we love him.
Yes.
But every comic we've talked about, he has either murdered or put people in the position where they could easily die.
Or kicked potential stepchildren off of bridges.
Potential children.
Yeah. Into the cold waters, and has been like, yeah, they're probably fine.
Yeah.
They didn't break any bones.
Yeah, they're goblin children, so it's fine.
But,
because they have powers.
Yeah. But that's why I'm saying that even though Nelson and Murdock, you might get, paid in pie, they're doing good work over there. And you don't have to, and your bosses are
They
pretty
get
cool.
blown up all the time, and they do not jump back from it.
Their building gets blown up.
And their company then breaks up for like a period of time.
Yeah, that's drama, Mike. Drama in the office.
I understand. You've worked with me. I don't like drama in the office.
The entertainment industry has no drama whatsoever.
That's why I was so like nose to the desk. Like, I don't want to talk about drama in the office.
I just want to write these terrible, scathing articles about Spider-Man and go home.
All I have to do is the layouts for them.
Let's see. What have we used? We've used Menace. We've used Monster. We've used Terrorist. What haven't we used to describe
You are kidding
Spider-Man?
yourself if you think J. Jonah Jameson doesn't write every single one of those.
Menace? Oh, yeah, you're right. That's true. He does write every single... Why wouldn't he write every single front page?
Now, yes, you would have kind of a bad boss there.
You would have a very bad boss.
But the alternative is the boss who never shows up. And when he does show up, he's got
been
broken bones.
Street fighting.
And it's like... And you're like, okay, like... Do I say something about it? He's got a disability. Is it cool?
But
for me to
Foggy's
say
really
anything?
nice.
Foggy's great.
Yeah.
Betty Brant is really
Karen
nice.
is probably really cool, too.
Sure. Until she dies.
Yeah, I guess. You're going to have a lot of turnover, and not in a good way in that office. It's not like, oh, look, Karen's off. Hey, look at her new LinkedIn profile.
Yeah. You don't get to commiserate with the other employees. You get to commiserate with the other employee. Oh, Bullseye came by. Okay, I guess it's just me. I guess I got to look for the interns now.
Damn.
Awkward.
So,
like literally,
what's your turnover rate here at Nelson and Murdock? What do you mean by turnover?
Like,
people leaving to go to other jobs? Oh, very, very minimal.
For a while, they hired a private eye.
Uh-huh.
She worked for them for a while, but then she and Matt had a thing, and then it all fell apart.
So just don't sleep with Matt Murdock.
Great. I mean, look, you can say that.
I mean, it's very charming.
I'm so glad we both went for the same joke. I'm so glad. I'm so proud of us. We just went for the same.
Just a very charming gentleman.
Yeah, he's a very handsome man.
I mean, always in great shape. He keeps up in the gym.
It's true, he does.
But at the end of the day, yeah.
But look, J. Jonah Jameson goes to work in the morning.
Yep.
He works for his money.
He doesn't street fight in the evening.
Doesn't, rarely street fights in the evening.
And here's the thing. The guy has conviction, okay? You can at least give him that. He will not falter on his just endless hate of Spider-Man.
He gets stuff done.
Yeah, he does.
He doesn't like Spider-Man. That guy is going to design a robot to stop Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean...
and then marry the woman who built the robot, because the man is loyal.
He's got conviction. He picks
If he
something,
likes you...
he picks a lane and he stays in that lane.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you know what? I think you've sold me on Daily Bugle. I thought it was going to be Nelson and Murdock, hands down.
I don't know why.
They're just so nice. Just so nice.
Sure, great
Until
people.
that rent comes and you're like, I can't pay this in fish.
Yeah.
I got to go work somewhere else.
I think that's a line of Jon Favreau's in the 2003 film.
Oh, really?
More or less.
Wow. Okay.
They get paid in fish. And they're like, great, that's
all right, I will leave with this. I mean, Daily Bugle is the pick, but look, man, a lot less encounters with Stilt-Man, and I still feel like that's a real detriment.
I don't know if that's necessarily true, though.
Do you think they do a lot of investigation into Stilt-Man at the Daily Bugle? Oh, I'd be working the Stilt-Man beat.
Yeah.
That would be my beat.
You can have the Stilt-Man beat, Jay.
Oh, man. Guaranteed not a lot of people trying to work that beat. It'd be all mine.
Yeah, I think he's dead, Jay.
I think he is dead.
I'm pretty sure the Punisher shot him with a rocket launcher where the stilt legs met. That's not a joke.
R.I.P. Stilt-Man.
Google it.
It's probably true.
It's
Man.
Jay, it's very true.
Can we add that to the show notes? Just
Yes.
a picture of Stilt-Man exploding via
Look,
rocket.
normally the third photo is related to whichever one we pulled, but no, this time it's going to be Stilt-Man's death.
Stilt-Man. I like somebody just hasn't listened to the episode yet, and they're like, "Why is there a picture of Stilt-Man exploding?"
There's a line there that says spoilers if you haven't listened to the episode.
Fair enough. All right, guys. Well, that was our pick. Daily Bugle over Nelson and Murdock. Sorry, Daredevil. Oh my God, that is it. You're right. There's no way he's making it out of that alive, guys.
I mean, to be fair, Darth Maul just came back in my Star Wars reviews, and he also doesn't
lost
have anything
in
below
lower
the
half
navel.
of his body. Yeah, well, we'll see. You know what, Mike? You're right. Stilt-Man's gonna be back.
But you know what's great is that when Stilt-Man died, we got Lady Stilt-Man, which is the best.
Which is just amazing.
Not Stilt-Woman.
Someone that believed in
Lady Stilt-Man.
believed in Stilt-Man's mission so strongly that copied. Amazing. Guys, that was episode 76 of Because Comics, and a fun Google journey for you to look up pictures of Stilt-Man. We'll be posting a new episode every other week. If you'd like to download more episodes or check out other similar podcasts like Friday Night Quests or Roll to Seas, head over to partialarc.com. Of course, you can email us any questions at becausecomics@gmail.com or follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Tumblr, all at Partial Arc. And be sure to check out more content from our comic boy wonder, Mike Christensen, at partialarc.com, where he writes articles every Tuesday and Thursday. Thanks for listening, and remember...
Do you think Tom Cruise is bummed he didn't get to be in the movie The Running Man?
Yeah, he probably, like, every day he wakes up and, like, he looks over at the poster, like, next to his bed, and it's just
someday.
Like, eventually they'll
He's
remake
waiting
it.
for that reboot, because he's been training for this all his life.
Yes.
There's a video online of Tom Cruise running. Every Tom Cruise run ever, as of 5 months ago. It is 18 minutes and 51 seconds.
My God.
Because comics.